Students Speak Out is brought to you in part by the Lyda Hill Foundation, the Meadows Foundation, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, supporting American Graduate. Let's Make It Happen, a public media initiative to address the high school dropout crisis.
I'm Chris Boyd. There's an ongoing debate about why students drop out, and the reasons are as unique as the individuals trying to finish high school, go to college, and begin their lives as young adults. There's actually been some progress. According to a recent report published in Education Week, the national graduation rate has risen to almost 75%, the highest level since 1973. But that still means that way too many of our students are not earning diplomas, and 1 out of every 4 American young people will not graduate from high school. During the next hour, we'll set aside the debate and the statistics to hear from students themselves and find out about the pressures they face every day, from teen pregnancy and drug abuse to health crises and financial difficulties. We've given these 6 students a few questions to help get the discussion started. And throughout the show, you'll hear their stories in their own words as Students Speak Out, a KERA American Graduate Special.
What is your definition of success? Success to me is being happy with yourself and what you do.
Success for me would be like accomplishing my goals and kind of going along with what you said.
To me, it'd be everything I would think is impossible to make it possible. I would think everything I can't accomplish at the moment, I'll be able to accomplish. Because I believe everything's possible if you want it, especially.
Set your mind to it and you can get it done.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, success would be graduating college. I'd be the first in my family, and being able to financially support my mom. My mom's everything to me. She's like my best friend. She'd do anything for me, I'd do anything for her. So to me, success is being happy with myself, like having a career that I love, not because it's for the money, and being able to support my mom.
Well, I agree that success is like getting your goals done and achieving all the goals that you set for yourself.
Success to me means just living life, not saying living life like they say YOLO, you only live once, not like that or anything. Becoming who you say you want to be, raising yourself up to be a good adult, a good person, being successful in life basically, having a family and building your family that they never live the way that some people have came up in this world, So being successful has many different meanings to it. It just depends on who you're talking to.
Jamel Brown never knew his father, but he excelled at South Oak Cliff High School in Dallas and was elected president of his senior class, all while serving as a role model for his younger brother. Jarrell is attending Howard University in Washington, D.C. on scholarship.
My mother was my father and my mother. She was my backbone, my support. She loved me a lot. I love her a lot. I have an older brother and an older sister and a younger brother. So my goals are to follow in their footsteps, learn from their mistakes, and set a good example for my little brother.
So what did you want to be when you were a little kid?
Everything, anything good I seen, I wanted to be a football player, basketball player. Any sport I seen, I wanted to be. Policeman, fire truck, everything. I never did have my mind really set on one thing that I wanted to do when I was younger.
What about now?
I'm going to Howard University to study biology to make it to my dream goal of becoming an anesthesiologist.
You make it sound super easy, like I've done really well in school, I'm going off to Howard University. Has it always been easy for you?
Not at all. I mean, elementary and middle school was fairly easy, but then the challenge came when you get to high school. The work gets more challenging. You have to study more, and being young, you don't want to study, you want to have fun all the time. You don't have 7 classes anymore, it's 10 classes at the school that I go to, so you have to study for 10 classes, get the work done, homework, classwork, and you have to make sure that you stay on top of your game because it's easy to get off track. Some people have had it easier than me because, they have techniques to where they know material better, they learn better. But then again, some people have had it harder than me because they're not serious about school, they're hurting themselves. I know a lot of smart people, but then again, I know a lot of people that are struggling because they're not serious about their education.
Who looks up to you?
My little brother. He looks up to me, even though we argue a lot. I love him to death. I believe he loves me, even though he gets mad at me and say he doesn't, but I know he does. And I can tell he looks up to me because sometimes I catch him doing things that I do. So I know that he's paying attention to me, so I always watch myself around him.
What do you imagine your life like in 10 years and then maybe in 20 years?
In 10 years, I'll say I'll still be learning, educating myself, learning as much as I can because my field of study is not something that's easy. And in 20 years, I want to be settled down, have my place in a good house, a good home, maybe getting ready to start a family or looking to start a family.
Here is a list of things that can affect success: luck, intelligence, hard work, supportive family, friends. Which one of these has been most important to you and why?
Supporting family. My dad, he was in prison, and my mom, she was never really, willing to push me to graduate or anything like that. She would let me skip. Like I said, my dad was in prison, so he really can't push me. But the times that he was out, he would tell me, it'd be good if you went to school. He'd try to motivate me and stuff like that. But when my mom's sitting right there and not really caring, she, like I said, she wouldn't make me go to school. She'd let me stay out late.
It can really affect you.
Yeah, it
really
can.
Because sometimes you need that support. Sometimes you need that to keep going. But that doesn't mean you can't. I mean, here we are, right?
Yeah.
Going to school without that support. But if we want it, we're going to go for it, right?
Yeah.
I would say supportive family too. My mom was a teen mom, and she not only had my brother, but she had me as a teenager. And she actually went to Adamson, where I graduated from, but she still graduated with her class and with honors. So like, to me, she's a big deal. She's like my hero. And my mom's always said, do better than I did, do better than I did, go to college. It really motivated me to do really well in school. I mean, since I was a freshman, I worked my butt off every day. And it all pays off at the end, and that's what I really think it comes down to, is that my supportive family is the reason why I'm here now. And I got the opportunity that I'm a Gates Millennium Scholar, which means that I have a full ride to college.
I'd say mine would be hard work. A lot of times I haven't had, a whole bunch of support from family or a whole bunch of luck. Or I think my ambition to do better is what drives me. I guess you could say, like, if you really want something, you have to put in the effort for it. Like, let's say you're not the smartest guy in the room. Okay, well, go home, sit down, and study. That's not going to make you smarter, but it's going to help. It's going to change the way you see things. If you really want something, I think you can get it.
Yeah, if you set your mind to it.
Yeah.
Hard work pays off.
Yeah.
I'd have to say hard work also, because I agree. You have to work for what you want, and also support from family, because I don't have that much support from my mom and all that, but I do have a sister, and she's always supported me in everything I do.
I would have to agree. My sister pushes me a lot.
I would have to agree with that, but my sister's younger, but we've been there for each other, I could say.
Yeah, that's how it is with me and my sister. She's older, so she did mistakes, and then she taught me, like, not to do those same things.
My family's had my back 100%, so, I mean, they've always pushed me. I mean, friends also, teachers, principal, I hang around with a good group of people. I'm not saying that everyone's perfect, but yeah, it gets you there. And intelligence, of course. I mean, without that, I wouldn't graduate. I don't believe none of us would have graduated. But, things happen.
I would have to go with supportive family and friends on this one. It affected a lot of my past decisions. And with my parents' divorce, I would have to say I was really affected by it, and it made me look at things very different. I didn't have both, so it affected me a lot. And it came from having one to me, myself, becoming a parent. I started looking at things, the way maybe my parents did. But because of my son, I was able to move forward and become really who I am now.
Leslie Beltran's parents divorced when she was 11, and at 15, she got pregnant and dropped out of high school. 3 years later, Leslie enrolled in Casada, a Catholic school in Fort Worth. She works full-time to take care of her son, and she plans to attend college and become a nurse. So when you first got pregnant, did you think, okay, I have to drop out of school? Were there options for you, but you just didn't want to consider them at the time? How did that all work out?
After I got pregnant, education really didn't cross my mind. It didn't seem as important to me as having the baby and working hard. 4 months after my son was born is when I actually got my first job and started working. I'm still there. I just felt like education is my only way out. I don't want to be there forever.
So what do you want to be now?
I want to be a registered nurse.
What made you think about nursing?
I think, honestly, my whole experience with my pregnancy, since then I just enjoyed the care so much.
Besides you, who do you think has always believed that you would graduate and then go on to college?
Well, honestly, I don't. My mom hasn't been around ever since my pregnancy, and I could say a little bit even before that.
Are you still in contact with your dad?
Yes, with my dad, he has. It was just after having my baby, I had always lived, well, even during my pregnancy, I was living with my baby's father. So me and my dad and my mom, we didn't keep in touch as much. I was just more of my baby's father and me and thinking about our baby. And even when he was born, it was just the three of us, and much support of his family. They were very supportive. My mom wasn't as supportive. She kind of
That hurts.
yeah, it does. It does, because I would have wished she was there. I wanted her there.
Do you think there's still a chance for that someday?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because like, I don't hold nothing against her. She's my mom, and I will always love my mom. It's just, now I look at it as in, we should just keep our distance. She wasn't there when I most needed her, and I really wanted her there. I needed her.
What was the turning point for you?
I think it was when I split with my baby's father. I looked at so many things. I looked at where my life was gonna be at, what I needed to do for myself and my son to be good and I just thought about our future. And I think that when me and my baby's father had split is when I realized that I kind of don't need no one to stop me from what I want, from what I need to go for.
What are the reasons that you think graduating from high school really matters to you?
Now, of course, it's my son. It's my son, and I want to be a good role model. I didn't think about all these things when I had him. I was just thinking about how I was going to work to provide him with this and to provide him with whatever it was he needed.
Since you went back to school, was there ever a point where you came close to giving up?
Yes, actually. There was a point where I was like, I can't work and school and my son, having to know or to see where he's going to be at. I honestly thought I wasn't going to be able to go back to school. After dropping out for 3 years, I was like, oh my God, my mind's going to be blank. I'm not going to know anything. I don't know what to do. But in the end, I know it's going to pay off, and I know I need to do it, especially for him. I want him to be able to see me graduate. And of course, because I will be graduating with him by my side.
What advice would you give a student entering high school this year?
Entering high school, so as a freshman.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, I dropped out as a freshman, so if I had to give any student any advice, I would, tell them to stay in school, not to drop out. It'll eventually be over with as long as you, go to school and just do the work. That's all you have to do.
I would have to say to start off strong, because you don't want to struggle at the beginning, because it's going to be hard to get back up to the top.
Yeah, and
But
it'll push your graduation day back.
Yeah. And if you do struggle, it's okay, because you can always come back if you work hard enough. So it's back to the hard work.
I would have to say not to drop out as well, because I did drop out, and it was hard going back and having to go through what I could have done then, now, and to think about the future, because that's where you start, is really when you finish high school. It's when you finish high school, and then after that is when the real world hits. You're like on your own, not on your own, because you'll probably still have support, but
Independent.
You're independent, because you are 18. You have to work for what you want.
I actually mentor freshmen. We visit them like every so often in class, and that's basically what we do, is having to give them advice from what we experience so that they know what's basically going to happen, whether it's advice on teachers and things like that. I tell them usually the same thing, that it's what you make of it. Like, don't get me wrong, there's going to be conflicts, there's going to be things that you don't like, but I mean, you have to keep your goal in mind, like your future. That's what's important, and you can't do so much if you don't go to college. And I had they're called mentees. I had one, and she just never came to school. She never wanted to come to art class, never wanted to go to gym. She was stealing. And I was just like, you need to keep in mind that you're not going to be able to survive off McDonald's paycheck. It's just not going to happen. I was like, and I told her, I was like, you really need to get your stuff straight. I said, don't get me wrong. She goes, I know you probably have problems at home, but everyone has problems at home. Everyone has their own story. Everyone's experienced something, and that doesn't make you any different from anyone else. I was like, you have to graduate high school. You have to. It's necessary.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can't let that be our excuse.
Exactly.
We can't let our problems back at home be our excuse, or let them be the reason why we can't be successful.
I believe this was a perfect question for me, because my younger brother is entering high school as a freshman. I mean, the first thing I ever told him about high school is that you're going to have fun. I mean, that's always with school, period, because you're going to be around friends. But I always tell him to keep his academics first, no matter what you're doing. Whether it's band, basketball, swimming, track, baseball, football, whatever sport, I always keep academics first, because without the academics, there's no sports. And so if you want to play sports, you have to have the academics. And on top of that, peer pressure. I mean, it does exist and it does happen. That's how most people fall off. Start off strong, because they always tell me that your freshman and your junior year is the most important. Your first year entering, and then your exit level year. That's always the most important, because it's always easier to stay ahead, but it's always harder to catch up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's easier to lead the race than it is to catch up to the winner.
Yeah.
So just tell them to stay positive, and have fun.
And academics will get you further, because you can get a full ride.
Yeah, academics will get you further, and they hand out more scholarships for academics anyway.
I'd agree with Ashley. Start off strong, don't slack off. Slacking off is more fun, goofing around. It's a lot of fun, but in the long run, it's only gonna hurt you. If you keep your mind focused, I know that you can get influenced by a lot of your other friends to just, why are you doing that homework? Just screw it. Who cares?
It's temporary.
When you get to school the next day.
Yeah, 1 week from now, that's not going to matter. But it is. It is, because it doesn't just help your grade. It helps you. It helps you become the person you are. And in the future, going into a job, you're not going to be able to do that. Well, you can do that. You're just going to get fired.
That's a consequence with doing it.
You need to have a set of rules that you live by, and starting off in high school like that, it's going to help you when you get older.
When he was 5 years old, Proudest Patel lost his father in a car accident that also severely injured his mother. But Proudest poured his energy into school while working long hours to help support the family. He graduated from South Hills High School in Fort Worth and is attending Texas Christian University on full scholarship. You were 5 when your family got in an accident. Do you remember a lot about your mom being really stressed and sad after that?
Yeah, I do. It's been like that for a while, being a single mother, and she was actually injured in the accident. She went into a coma for about 3 months, I believe, and whenever she came back out, she was paralyzed on the right side of her body. So then she began physical therapy. Really, she lost all her memory before that. She couldn't remember her parents or my dad, or really that I was even her son, which is a little scary. She's great. I love her. She's been there for me, as in financially, as a mom, but I wish she could have been there for me, like, to support me in school, in the things that I've done, just sports, extracurricular activities, anything. Something, you know, when I'm down, to motivate me. But I know she's a single mother and it's really hard for her, so I'm pretty understanding about that.
So you've been through a lot for someone your age. Do you feel like that has shaped the person you are?
Yeah, I think it has. Really, it's just taught me that everything can't be handed to me. I can't imagine myself any other way. I wouldn't say I'm glad everything has happened, but I'm going to take advantage of the lessons that I could learn from it.
Does your mom have really high expectations about how you're going to do in school?
Yeah. She wanted me to go to college and stuff, and we all knew I was, but she wanted me to stay at home, and that was kind of an issue. I'm really happy that I got into TCU, especially with this scholarship. I get to stay at the college like I want, but it's close enough to where I can just go home on the weekends.
Did you get a letter in the mail? Did you get a phone call? How did you find out that you had a full ride scholarship to TCU?
I knew about the scholarship last year. One of my friends got it, and he was so excited. And TCU being my #1 school, I was really excited too. I was like, man, I have to apply for this. We had 3 interviews. I prepared really hard for him. I got help from every teacher I could think of, from college advisors, just interview practice. Whether I would have gotten the scholarship or not, I think the whole interview process was great because that was my actual, like, real life. Here's, you know, we want to know everything about you. Job interviews are not the same.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years and then in 20 years?
In 10 years, graduating dental school. If I can make it. I know it's going to be tough, but I think I can. 20 years from now, man, hopefully I'll have my own house, be married. I don't want to stay single forever. Hopefully kids. I don't know. I'm not too big on kids. Just a happy life, just that whole ballpark, family, just a relaxed life. Not really stressing out over the small things.
What has finishing high school or returning to high school taught you about yourself? More than anything, I think it's taught me like how dedicated and hardworking I am. Me and one of my best friends, and we're not natural learners. Like, it takes a lot for us to understand a certain concept, and we're both visual people. And I think it really taught us how we learn. Me and her, we can study together and we'll learn a lot, and we have a lot of fun. And I think it really taught me that I have to go the extra mile in order to understand something. But at the same time, I'm proud of it because that means that I'll do even better in college, because I will do whatever it takes to understand what I'm supposed to be learning. You get frustrated that someone doesn't really have to pay attention and they get it so easily, but yet you're working your butt off, studying every night, and you still don't get it like that other person is. You're going to get like an 80 on your test while the other person gets a 92, and it's just like, are you kidding me? But in the long run, I know it's going to help.
Me graduating shows that I'm not perfect, you know. I can make it. Of course, I've always had the mentality, so graduating just made the fire burn harder, you know, be brighter, be stronger. Graduating also helped me show that, hey, sister, I'm coming for you. So, you know, it's always been a battle between us two because we're the 2 middle children. So, yeah. I'm so happy I graduated, though, and that I made it to my graduation.
I'm glad I went back to school because I'm still in school. I had been employed at the job I got after giving birth to my son, so I've been there almost 4 years. I think going back to school is the best thing I've done. Like, I'm so proud of myself, and it has taught me so many things that I can do so much more in life than just settle for less. I was able to go back to school, stop a lot of things that I was doing that I wasn't supposed to be doing, and just learn and keep going, and I will graduate. I will graduate. I'm not saying I might, I'm saying I will.
I'd say that high school has taught me to, I guess, be the person that I want to be. There's like this set image in my head of, you know, this perfect person, but I can't be that perfect person. And that was like, whenever it hit me that I can't be the person that I want to be, it was kind of disappointing. But then I figured out that in my pursuit of being that person, this is complicated, I'm sorry. I'm me, and I kind of like me. I'm pretty cool me.
I think graduating showed me that this isn't the end for me and that I can make that next step to college. And I know it'll be kind of hard because it was challenging to make it like to the level that I was in high school. But I think I can do it in college too, do well.
I decided to go back to school beginning of last school year, and I think it changed stuff for me because I was already going down the wrong road. I was, in the same path as my dad. And then when I decided to go back to school, I kind of just took a detour and went down a different path and kind of just still create my own. Yeah, I'm gonna graduate.
So what motivated you to go back?
My sister and my uncle. If it wasn't for them, I don't know if I'd be here today. Because, I was into drugs, I was into all kinds of stuff.
Scotty Gibson's childhood was shaped by a father's frequent stints in prison. He dropped out of school several times and supported himself by selling drugs. Scotty now works full-time and recently returned to school with the encouragement of his sister, uncle, and girlfriend. He attends classes at the Louisville Learning Center and plans to go to college and start a business.
As of now, I live with my uncle, but, back in the day, I used to stay with my mom, and then my dad would come in and come out. He's in and out of prison. And then my mom eventually just left me as soon as I turned 18, so I really haven't had anybody there for me.
When your parents were around, were they invested in you going to school and all that?
No, ma'am. My mom would let me skip anytime I want. My dad, like I said, he was never really there, but when he was, he would motivate me to go because he was a dropout himself. If he's not there, then there's not really much he could have said.
There wasn't a lot of money when you were growing up.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so how did drugs kind of work into things for you?
Would sell them to make ends meet.
And sell them and use them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much were you using, and how did you decide, okay, I can't do this anymore?
It was mostly marijuana that I was smoking, and it was about 2 grams a day to 4 grams. And yeah, I realized that as soon as I went back to school that, it's not gonna make me do any better. It's not gonna make the problems go away. What's gonna make me do better is me motivating myself and getting off the drugs.
Was it hard to kind of get cleaned up?
In the beginning, yeah. But, after I'd seen myself 30 days clean, I was like, it's done, I won't be around it. I've told everybody that in my family, don't bring it around me.
Did other people in your family, like your sister, your uncle, were they aware that you were using and selling and all that?
My uncle, I do not know. My sister, I think she knew. My dad, he did. My mom, she did know.
What did your mom and your dad say to you about it?
They were telling me not to, but they really didn't care. Because my dad, he was figuring, you can't be a hypocrite. And my mom, she was like, I can't get it through your head to stop.
So where did you find support to stop?
My sister, by far, my sister.
What'd she say?
She asked me if I wanted to end up like my dad, and I told her no. She finally came up to me and said, why would you want to keep doing this? What are you going to be able to give your family if you stay dropped out and don't have a good paying job and you don't go to college to get a degree into the world that we are in now?
Does it make you mad that you kind of got left to fend for yourself when other people have parents kind of watching out for everything?
Yeah, it did. But when your parents aren't there, you can't really make them be there.
So you mentioned your dad, who did care about you going to school because he was a dropout himself, but he was in and out of prison. Do you guys have a relationship at all?
Oh, yes. Yes, I love my dad, you know, with all my heart. If I could change him, you know, I would, because he's still, you know, doing what he's been doing, and I try to tell him, let's lay off, let's be a family again, but he just won't do it. And my mom, you know, she got fed up with it, so she left. And I mean, I still talk to my mom every now and then, but it just doesn't seem like she's the same person anymore.
What do you think your parents will think when you graduate?
My mom, I don't know yet. 'Cause I still think that she's in denial that I will, you know, completely finish.
She doesn't believe you can do it.
No. My dad, you know, he pushes me. You know, he'll call me every now and then like, hey, you know, I know you can do this, you know, get it done.
Do you ever like think about what graduation's going to feel like the day that you actually cross that stage?
Yeah, I've thought about it millions of times. And I just, you know, it makes me feel great now, so I know when I do it, it's gonna make me feel awesome. I just can't wait.
How do you stay focused on school even when there are a lot of other distractions in your life?
I think thinking about the future a lot. I think about when I sit there and I'm actually doing work, or if it's homework, I think of a lot about, you know, about what I could be doing now, but how it will affect me in the future.
It has to be supportive family. You know, anytime I got off track, they'll let me know. And not only that, friends also, because friends, I actually did drop off this year in school. I got a little lazy because I got senioritis, like, first semester. I was so ready to graduate. And, like, they actually used to come to me and tell me, like, what are you doing? Like, what have you been doing? You don't seem as the same you. And also my teachers told me that, and that really opened up my eyes.
I'd have to agree with you on supportive friends, because while I'm at school, like, they'll push me, like, hey, you know, you need to get this work done so you can get up out of here, so you can, you know, move forward on your life. I mean, because I'm still behind. You know, when I graduate, I'll be like half a year late, but, you know, it's better than, you know, not going back at all.
True. Yeah.
I would say like priorities. I think what it really comes down to is you have to keep your future in mind. I mean, any little thing you think it's not important, but it really, really is. It'll come back.
Yeah, I agree with Myra. Yeah, the support from friends and family, it's really great, but sometimes your friends can be a distraction as well, and not much of a motivator. I know a lot of times they have motivated me to do better, but a lot of times they have, you know, they're like, hey man, what are you doing after school? I gotta study and then go to work and stuff. Oh, well, after that, you know, be sure you drop by this guy's house. We got something for you. And I was like, oh. Probably not. I don't
You
think.
gonna say yeah, but you really mean no.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, same with you. I mean, if I do something now, it's gonna get me later. If not physically, my conscience is gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree that friends can be a big distraction because they always try to make everything sound more appealing than doing work. And I am a big procrastinator already, so it doesn't help.
I agree with you. I'm a big procrastinator.
Yeah.
I gotta work on it.
How can public schools do a better job of serving students whose lives are like yours?
I do attend a private school right now, which is completely different. But what I would have changed, and my freshman year, I didn't attend the actual public school. I actually attended Khan Academy. I don't know if y'all know.
Yeah.
But the reason I didn't want to go to a public school was because of the large amount of classes I believe in. I think that if the classes were to be cut down to a lot smaller classes, maybe the teachers can concentrate more on each student and actually pay attention to what it is they need.
That's true.
Like, you can't really pay attention to every student in your class and give them the attention they need, and you might not even be able to notice, they might not even be able to notice when a student is stuck or needs help because of all the rest of the other students. You know, if there was less students per class, they would probably give them more attention.
I love the way she explained it, because that is true about the class sizes.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, they had budget cuts, and, I mean, everyone knows about the budget cuts. So a class that first semester I had that was around like 15 students. They had crammed 30 students in one class, and then we have more students than desks. So it's like the teacher was more focused on keeping the class straight so she could teach instead of actually teaching. Because, you know, not everyone comes to school to learn or comes to school to graduate. Some people have other intentions in mind. And, you know, they just really just taking up space. They really have no reason to be there. So it's like, hey, why not get them out of the class so we can actually learn the people that want to learn.
Yeah.
Right. I agree, because like sometimes they would focus more on the problems that weren't actually teaching the other students that actually want to learn, that actually want to be there.
I think the school should set their standards a little higher. Yeah, I know it'll be harder work, but I hate the fact that one of my teachers will assign me some homework or a lesson or something, and I get it done, and you know, here you go, turning it in. Oh, well, half the class didn't do it, so we'll just wait another 2 weeks. It's like, God dang it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I could have waited.
I agree with setting standards higher, because sometimes I feel like we waste too much time, like not getting anything done. We're just sitting there for like maybe the whole class period with an assignment. They're not really even teaching us. So I wish they would like do something about that.
How are you most different from other students your age? How are you the same? I'd say I'm different because I guess I have the ability to stop myself from doing a lot of things that a lot of other people might be doing, and it just looks like a lot of fun. But then I really think things through, as in long term, like, oh yeah, well, doing that really, will it benefit me? No, not really. It's probably going to harm me, so just stay away from that. Then how am I the same?
I'm a teenager.
Yeah, I'm 18. I don't know. I'd hate to say that I am the same as somebody, just because I like to have my own identity. But I know that in certain ways I am, you know, really alike.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Like, I'm different because I believe I'm more mature since I didn't have a family there to support me. I'm trying to push myself, and, you know, working full time and stuff like that. I feel like I'm more of an adult. But then, like you said, like, I'm not trying to be a follower. I'm trying to be a leader. Yeah. So I like to lead myself onto doing something that I want to do. I don't want to have somebody else peer pressure me into something that I don't want to do.
Yeah. Maturity too. When my mom got sick, I had to take care of her. I had to help her take a shower. I had to wash dishes, clean the house. Anything she did, I basically had to do. And even now, I do sometimes like cook. I'll be like, Mom, do you want this? And I'll cook. And my friends are like, she's like my sister. Like I literally tell her everything I've ever done. I've told her. And I think that's what really different. Like with my friends, they're not as close to their mom as I am. I'll be like, Mom, I love you every time I hang up the phone. I think it really sets me apart, because I'm just like, aren't you gonna tell your mom bye? Or like my friend, we went to Houston and she was gone for 2 weeks. Like when she said bye to her dad, they shook hands. I was at the bus stop teary-eyed because I was gonna leave my mom for a whole week, and you shook your dad's hand. Like I think that really does, like the relationship with my mom is a lot different from anyone else. I guess we're the same just because I love to laugh. I'm a little goofball sometimes. I just love to laugh. So I think we're kind of clowns. Like I don't get embarrassed. Like when I'm with my friend Annabelle, we don't get embarrassed. We laugh over like the dumbest things ever. So I think that's how we're the same.
I would have to say different, because of my responsibilities as a mother. I can't just think about myself. I have to think about my young one. The same, I would have to say I still think somewhat like give time to myself, although I do have a kid. I still, once in a while, go out with my friends to the movies, out to eat. I think I consider myself different, way different than a lot of people, kids, teenagers my age.
Yeah.
We're unique.
Unique. Correct.
I feel different because I feel a little more mature, but not really much, because I still have my childish moments. But like when it comes when it comes to being like at home or like out and about, because I have a job, not a lot of my friends have that because they have the support from their family, and like because I kind of feel like, because I have a sister and we kind of raised ourselves, so she was kind of like a mom to me in a way. So it's kind of different than other people.
Ashley Tilley is an honors graduate from Polytechnic High School in Fort Worth. She spent much of her childhood in and out of foster care because of her mother's mental illness. Ashley worked part-time during high school and received a full scholarship to TCU.
I grew up with my mom. It was like a single parent home, me, my mom and my sister. And like we lived here and then we moved back and forth from here in Georgia a lot. It wasn't really a stable type of environment, but like occasionally we did get to stay in the same place, but not with my mom, like with my aunt or something, or my grandmother.
So was it hard to get used to sort of being in different situations every, I guess, few months or whatever it would be?
Yeah, because I'm kind of shy, so it'd be hard to adjust, and I'm kind of to myself, so when I'd go to a new school, I'd just be like all like shy and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Have you always been serious about school?
Yeah, because I knew it was like the only way, because my mom, she never really had a stable job or anything, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to fall back on her, so
yeah,
I just kept going. My sister helped me along the way.
Your mom has a mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did someone explain that to you when you were very small, or did you have to sort of figure that out along the way?
Well, I just noticed because one day she was, like, I was about maybe 5 years old, and she just left. So, like, she just walked out of the house, and then she never came back until I was maybe in the 4th grade or something. And I've just been, like, in and out of foster care, so.
That's a hard way to grow up.
Yeah.
Did you have good experiences ever in foster care?
Kind of, because my sister was there. Well, at times we did get separated. I don't really remember because I was really young, like 7 or something. And, well, the first time. And then we just went to group homes after that, and it was all right. But there were like a lot of different types of people there.
Did you feel loved, at least when you had your sister there?
Yeah, she was like the only person I could turn to most of the time.
How much did you guys talk about, like, what is this, what is going on in our lives, or did it go unsaid?
Yeah, we didn't really talk about it. We were just now talking about it because it's like shock. You don't really think about it because you think it's normal until you see other people, and then it's not.
Have you always had teachers who sort of saw something special in you?
I guess I was always like kind of a star student in the classroom, so they kind of pushed me to do better. You just have to keep pushing, like even if you feel like you can't, then you have to, because, well, for me, because I knew like that was it, like education is what's going to get me out.
When you say out, what does that mean?
Like out of the situation that I'm in, because like I don't have that support for a family, so that's out.
Tell me about your career plans.
I want to be a social worker or a psychologist, because I think somebody should always have somebody there for them to understand them and talk to them, because I didn't always have that. Because if you go through the system and stuff, there's not always somebody there. Like, I had my sister, but she's like the same age as me, basically, so it wasn't really just like support like you need.
I would imagine that you're someone do your friends come to you for advice?
Yeah, they do. Like, the first time a friend came to me for advice, it was like 3rd grade, and I like solved their little issue. And then my teacher was like, oh, you should be a counselor. And then I always thought that maybe I should, so.
What worries you?
I don't know. Sometimes I'm worried, like, that I won't make it, like, in life, or maybe I'll end up like my mom or some people in my family. And that's, like, really scary.
Do you feel older than 18?
Sometimes. I know, like, sometimes my uncles, they're like, oh, she thinks she's 36 years old.
You've lived a lot.
Yeah.
If somebody watching this is in the same situation as you, say, when you were in middle school or starting high school, what would you want them to know about how things have gone for you and how you're doing?
I would want them to know that things will get better, and they can get better. You just have to stick it out and just keep being tough about it.
What do adults fail to understand about the lives of high school students?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's a perfect question.
It's not easy being a teenager. Oh my God. Like, parents think you could just go to school, get the work, and do it and make a passing grade. No, that is not how it happens anymore. Maybe back in y'all day. Not saying they're old or anything, but I mean, nowadays it's hard. I mean,
They think that you can just wake up like out of nowhere.
And graduate the
right,
next
like
day,
we
right?
could just click
like,
a switch
no.
and we know everything in the world. No, I mean,
I don't even wake up to my alarm clock.
who does?
Thank you.
but it's really just they don't think like we do. I mean, when they were teenagers, they thought one way, but we're a different generation.
And yeah, because
Well, their
time is
requirements for
different.
school was a little different than ours is nowadays.
They had less
Like,
requirements because
exactly,
I know.
like ours, we had to like take a STAR test and stuff like that. Like back in the day, it was just like a simple
tough-
tax test.
Oh
Like
my
30
God, I
questions
feel
and you
sorry
graduate.
for
Yeah.
everybody behind me.
Right?
Oh my God, the STAR test is
I
so
didn't
hard.
take it.
Yes.
We took the practice test and my eyeballs popped out my head. I swear to you.
Do any of you have to take the STARS test?
No.
Okay, yeah, we all got lucky just with that test.
Yeah.
Have your parents ever told you, like, say you get like a 94 in class, why didn't you get a 95?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, I hate that. I'd be like, Mom, you don't understand how hard that
94 was
94.
hard.
That was with extra credit. That was studying for the test, doing all the homework. It was like, I don't think they understand how much work it takes to actually get that grade. And I don't think they understand how much time it takes to actually complete an assignment. They don't realize how much work you actually do.
Myra Mian ranked third in her graduating class at Dallas's Adamson High School. Myra's mother, a single parent, survived congestive heart failure and is the driving force behind her desire to succeed. Myra attends Texas A&M University on full scholarship.
My mom is the sole provider. She's a single parent and she's just the world to me. She's always sacrificed so many things for our family. So she basically takes care of all of us.
Your mom's had a tough time recently.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, she was diagnosed with heart failure. When I found out, I was devastated. Like, the good thing is I didn't have to learn the hard way. I mean, she's doing fine now. Her health is great. But I'm just like, I was just so sad. I was like, what would I do without her? She's done so much for me and like, I cherish her. Like, she's amazing. Like, I don't know, it just had a big impact. Like, just thinking, wow, she couldn't be here tomorrow. It's just like, no, I can't have that. So she's my motivation. She's everything. Everything I do, it's for her.
Is she okay with you going away to school?
I mean, she's proud. Like, she knows I've always wanted to go to A&M. That's been my dream since the summer of freshman year. And so I think she's supportive, but I think she knows that it's what I want. So she's going to miss me. I know she is. I always say, you're going to miss me, Mom. But I think she's just really supportive.
Did your mom go to college?
No, my mom didn't. She's a teen mom. I'm the youngest, so she got pregnant with my brother when she was a senior, I believe, and then with me. So she did graduate high school. She graduated on time and with honors, but she didn't go to college. She went to secretarial school and she's a finance coordinator now, but she didn't have the opportunity to go to college. So it's always been my goal to go above and beyond and make sure that I can do my best for my mom.
So this is your dream and her dream.
Yeah, definitely.
You mentioned that your mom's a single mom. Do you have a relationship with your father?
I haven't seen him in probably, I would say, 3 years. He literally lives 5 minutes away, and he's just never been in my life. We do, not that we keep in touch, but I do send him pictures, but he's just not in my life. Sometimes I feel like if he truly loved me, if he truly cared, he'd come see me. So, like, that's my grandma's always said, that if he made the effort, then you should make the effort. I don't know, like, I do think about it a lot. It's just like, why doesn't he come see me? But when it comes down to it, like, I'm never gonna disown him. Like, if he were to come back in my life, I would still communicate with him.
There are lots of students who have a hard time, for financial reasons, for family reasons, for academic reasons, and then just give up. They drop out or they just don't try very hard. Yeah. What do you think makes you different?
Drive, motivation. I think that really sets someone apart, whether it's not having the money. Yeah, I mean, that's a good reason not to. I mean, it's not that it's a good reason, but I think that's the most common. But you have to be determined. If you're determined, you'll put yourself out there. You'll apply for scholarships, do all you can. I think that's really what sets someone apart.
Is there anything, Myra, that people wouldn't guess by looking at you or wouldn't know about you that you'd want people to know?
I've always been the type of person, you don't really know them by looking at them. Like, yeah, I have this bubbly personality and I smile, but you don't know what really happened. I think that really comes down to it because people judge. There's always going to be people who are judging you. And I think what they fail to realize is you have a story. Everyone has a story. Everyone has somehow struggled. And the thing is that I always say is that you don't know how much that person is struggling. Like, yes, you may have it bad, but someone could have it way worse, and you just never know.
I know things haven't always been easy for you, but it sounds like you feel lucky to have the life that you have.
I guess not necessarily the suffering, but the things you go through, I think they really mold you into the person you are. And I think when you see something negative, like I would be the type of person to make it as positive as I can. Things that happen to you will cause you to be a better person. They'll motivate you or tell you if you don't like something, then you want to change it. Like I think they just really impact you as a person.
I have a question.
All right.
What's everybody's dream job?
Owning my own business. I'm going to UNT for a business degree.
What kind of business do you know yet, or just a business period?
Tow service.
Tow service.
Yeah.
I want to become an anesthesiologist. It's one of my fields of study that I love to do, which is math and science. So it's incorporating both.
I want to do animation. I didn't get into visualization, which is basically animation A&M, so I'm having to go a different route. But my dream job would be working with like Disney or Pixar. That's just like the ultimate goal.
I'm actually undecided right now in between two. When I got pregnant, I'm gonna have to say. I got really into RN. I was really amazed by registered nurse. I was amazed by how much they do and all they do. Especially when they cared for me. I was like, wow. And I just loved, everything they did, what they were doing. But then barely recently, this year, I was really amazed by a lot of, criminal justice.
Hey, what's your dream job?
I want to be a social worker or like a therapist or something like that. Just helping people.
Nice.
I'd say my dream job is to be a dentist. It sounds really horrible, but okay.
I'll keep your smile like this.
Yeah. I volunteered at a couple of dental clinics, and it was actually a lot of fun. It wasn't so boring. And you just see you see that the community has built around the dental office, and it's really cool because everybody knows each other. Everybody who walks in there knows their family. And that's kind of what I want, a little home feeling.
What are y'all plans coming up? Like college,
Oh, well, I'm going all the way across the United States. I'm going to DC.
Wow.
To go to Howard, so.
Wow. That's crazy.
I'm gonna be down there for a minute too, so.
Well, you'll learn a lot in DC.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be headed to TCU in August, along with Ashley here. I'm gonna be majoring in biology, and that's gonna be really tough.
Well, I'll be graduating in December.
Yeah. What school do you go to again?
Louisville Night High School.
Okay.
But I started with 3 credits there, and now I have I believe 14 or 15 and a half.
Yeah.
Your first day going back to high school, what was running through your mind like?
The first day I was like, am I really going to survive through this? But after the first 4.5 weeks and I realized that, I just got a credit and a half, I was like, well, what's the point of stopping now? I mean, I might as well just keep going. And now I only need 8 more to graduate, so.
I dropped off for my whole 4 years as well, and I've been in school for a year and a half. Well, a year actually, a whole year. And it'll take me the whole next year to be able to graduate, which I took 2 years of high school.
Really happy y'all went back to high school.
Yeah.
Best decision you will ever make in life.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, when I was dropped out and I was working at McDonald's and stuff like that, I was like, man, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, tired of
Flip
Exactly.
burgers and hand other people their food. Nah.
Yeah.
I want to be able to run my own company. I want to be, I want to be the maker of a business,
That's exactly how I felt. I mean, I'm recently employed there, and I was like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not moving up. I'm still stuck here. I'm not having fun at what I'm doing, which is.
But you have to do something to support your babies.
Right, and I mean, I want to be able to do something that I enjoy doing, that I want to wake up to every day, and that I'm passionate to, and that's just not for me where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I plan on going Texas A&M College Station, be a freshman. I'm excited. I'm going to do environmental design, but I'm excited to basically kind of be on my own and try and figure out how it's going to be on my own. And I'm going to be doing something I love, so I'm kind of like ready for it. I'm really ready to challenge myself. Like, I want to be able to say I can handle it. Don't get me wrong, I struggled, but I'm going to be able to do it. I'm just excited to start something new.
I know a lot of us are like, I don't want to change. That's being fake. But really, when you change, you don't necessarily change and you lose like all your friends. You change to better yourself, to better your life and the life of your family or the people around you.
And your soon-to-be family, of course.
Yeah.
The family that will then be yours.
You definitely want to set a good example on
Definitely.
the future.
Yeah, that's why I really went back to school, is because whenever I have kids, I don't want to tell my kid, oh yeah, stay in school because I dropped out. This is not the way, because then they're gonna want to be like you. And like my dad, he dropped out, and at first, I wanted to be like him, just because he's my dad. You want to be like,
Look up to him.
Yeah.
That's the role model you got.
Yeah, and then I just realized, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to drop out and be in prison or anything like that. I want to show my dad that I can be better than him, that I can do what he couldn't.
Right. That's what scares me the most. That's what scared me the most, is dropping out of school and my son having to tell me, you didn't go to school. Why do I have to go to school?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was my fear, and
You make that sound so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's the truth. Like, some kids actually do go back and be like, well, why do I have to do that? Set a role model, like he's gonna look up to somebody, and it's obviously gonna be either your mom or your dad or both.
Yeah.
In spite of the challenges these 6 students have faced and will continue to face, there is something quite inspiring about their determination, their intelligence, and their plans for the future. For more from KERA's American Graduate Initiative, visit kera.org/graduate. Once again, I'm Chris Boyd. Thanks for being with us.
Motivate yourself and know what you want in life. To be able to see your goals and just go after them. Don't let anything stop you.
Nothing's impossible. That if they want it, they should go for it. There's always a way.
You'll make it through if you have that motivation. Don't let anything bring you down. You'll eventually get there.
Things will get better, and they can get better. You just have to stick it out and just keep being tough about it.
It all comes down to how dedicated you are, how much you're passionate about something, whether you're willing to do whatever you can to do what you want to accomplish.
There's no one like you, and you know what it takes to get you where you need to go.
Students Speak Out is brought to you in part by the Lyda Hill Foundation, the Meadows Foundation, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, supporting American Graduate. Let's make it happen, a public media initiative to address the high school dropout crisis.